Hello, I don't have a lot of time today, so we'll just go over the patch notes and we'll try out the builds, mainly the flop build, the melee build, and maybe something else, we'll see. So they have made the game a little less fun right now because they nerfed the main builds in the game by just nerfing the components. So lifesteal is no longer impacted by triage. That means, well, with Siphoner it created some really broken interactions, but not anymore, not impacted by triage, so yeah. Flop and arm down damage recalculated. We'll see in the patch notes. Also, rip Hive Cannon as a primary weapon. So they nerfed the entire game by making the Hive Cannon not add corrosion stacks per normal shot. So you have to use the mod to add corrosion stacks, and it's to the max of 5. So it's going to be maximum 25% extra damage and no more primary shot adding corrosion. That's a huge nerf in my opinion. So let's go over the trinket. Stone of Balance, 12% increase in damage, not 15, because that was apparently too much, I know. A Vulcan detonator, you basically do more fire damage now. Double the fire damage, so the scaling of this means it's going to be overpowered. If you have any builds like the Labyrinth and the Stormcaller and you know, the Void Blast or whatever you want to call it, well, that's going to be overpowered right now. So try the build with the Vulcan detonator. Also minions, voila. Ring of the Unclean, so it's 200% and flop damage. Okay, I'll show you the ring in the game, so this doesn't really matter right now. I think this was nerfed and this was buffed. Restriction Court. Yeah, I think Polished Whitstone. So again, this was used in so many builds like the crit build, the bleed build, and so on. So the crit damage bonus was reduced from 50% to 35%. Yeah, it's again Hive Cannon nerf, Polished Whitstone nerf. That means a lot of builds were nerfed a lot. Black Cat, nobody really uses it. I mean, unless you're playing on survival. Scavenger Rigs now adds stats of ranged and more damage when you collect scrap. So it's the scavenger ring and set is now kind of like a whole setup. It's part of the build right now. Pretty good. Another way to play the game. They should have done it from the beginning. So Butcher's Fetish, critical chance from 10 to 15%, critical damage. It's a bit stronger right now, but you will see when I use a melee build how good it is or how bad it is. And by melee I mean unarmed. Devouring Loop reduced the proc chance from 6% to 5%. Yeah, you know, Femento, or whatever his name is. He did a meta build video and tada, they nerfed it. And I was sure they would nerf it. So if you find a build that is meta and if you advertise it too much, they will nerf it. So well, thank you, Femto. You basically helped to nerf a big exploit in the game by showing it to all the people. Evoker Sealed, not much. Burden of the Gambler. You can't exploit it via Exploiter and Hangman's Memento. Well, didn't want to show it off, but it was an interesting thing. But it was only for normal or hard. Burden of the Follower. Again, another nerf. Cultist. So Cultist has a duration of 100%. So that means all your mods last double with the Cultist set. It will only affect multiplayer. Multiplayer will become easier and single player will become almost the same. Not really much of a difference. Akari set is no longer removed upon attacking damage. Well, never used Akari. Okay, so Death Wish. So you will no longer die with the set on you. If you run out of enemies to kill, you will be stuck at 1 HP. So you won't die if you use the Q or the Dragon Heart. But also reduce the damage to 35 instead of 40, so yeah. Twisted, basically it's easier to keep the stacks on Twisted. Scavenger, easier to keep the stacks. Elder, nothing much there. Cold Spear, nothing much there. Machine Pistol, nothing much there. Hive Cannon, of course, what I mentioned. So now the Tentacle Shot of the Curse of the Jungle God actually has a regen per hit to 4.5. So that's actually a lot of healing that will be done, but not interesting. And also the Spitfire was modified to do full damage with the fires on the ground. Fusion Rifle, it's a little better, not much to say. Good Boy is good. And let's step into the game because this is what you want to see. Now, as you can see, the 5-finger ring, the ring of the unclean, Warlord set with the changes, plus the amulet, and this was basically the build that everyone used before the nerf, for the flop build. Well, they also used the Elder set before they entered the fight to buff themselves, so... okay, let's use the Elder set as well to buff ourselves, because the damage is not so great, so I don't expect to see anything groundbreaking. So, where is the Warlord set? So it's going to be on the last... okay, this will be a little harder. I don't think I'll have enough time to do it. Oh, so slow. So slow. Was that the Slayer or the Warlord? Huh, did that remove the buff? Probably. What? They removed the Elder buff? What did I do wrong? Anyway, doesn't really matter. Let's see the flop damage. Flop damage is not... not as big as I imagined it. $1,400, well that's not a lot. Hey! Cheater! He jumped. So 1,400 per flop. And this is just maximizing everything. Wow, that's not a lot of flop damage. Yeah, the build is semi-viable right now, but it's not going to work as a main weapon as before. No. Yeah, flop is really nerfed again. Not much to say about that. Anyway, like I said, I don't have time to test everything properly, so it's going to be what it is. Also, let's see the unarmed damage, because this is one of the surprises for me. I think they accidentally made unarmed damage a little too good with the crit build and also the set. Well, of course you'll get staggered, and sometimes against certain bosses it will not be good, but... by the way, this is only hard mode. Let's see something funny. The unarmed build with the amulet on this set, it's kind of broken anyway. But again, if you want to do it on Apocalypse or any other difficulty, there are risks involved. Come on, just do a charge hit. Okay, the amulet is active. Okay, this is a little overpowered, I admit it. I mean, not as before, but... the amulet is surely a little too strong right now. But that is if you do an unarmed build or a melee build. Come on, kill me, guys. Well, you know what this means. This means my Leto Hammer build or the Leto Pain Train is a lot more viable right now because of this amulet. They accidentally... okay, it will be nerfed probably the next patch if they do a next patch. Other than that, like I said, only 5 stacks and the normal attack doesn't activate it. So that's basically it. We went over all of those. So let me show you what I mean by the Leto Pain Train. Will not get as much health as before back because I think it was kind of broken. So let's find, by the way, what was this? The scavengering, I didn't show this off. So, ranged and melee 30 seconds by 10%. So it's actually one of the better rings right now. It's actually the best ring for survival mode because it will regenerate your health and you don't need any more healing. Yeah. Let's see the stone ring. Sad day, very sad day. Other than that, there are no major changes from what I saw. So let's find that ring. Devouring, look, 5%. Yeah. going to be even harder to use it, and Burden of the Fall. Reduce fire rate by 35%. Still, will only be usable with certain builds, will not be usable with most builds like it was until now. Come on, where is that life drain ring? Oh man, where is my ring organizer? I need a key ring. Yep. Blood font, no. Blood letter, no. Aslan's band, no. I'm searching for the ring that gives you health, life. Okay, here it is. Now remember, some of the traits will actually work with you, so that's why it was a little overpowered in the beginning or before, but we'll see. Health still rate 25%. And Petrified Maul, of course, is my main thing. I think, yeah, Burden of the Gambler was the ring I used for this build. So let's see how it is with the amulet and all the other stuff. I mean, basically everything in the game is a little nerfed right now, so most of the builds still work, at least the builds that I did, but at a lower rate. I don't know what to say about the flop build because... we can try to use the flop build a little with this guy. Yeah, let's use the unclean ring, and then we'll switch again. So let's see how the flops are on the letter. $900 damage. Well, I don't know, it's not such a big difference. It's 1000 damage, which is good damage, but not really enough. But of course on hard it's plenty enough. Smack him in the head. Yeah, this hammer still does way too much damage and I don't understand why. And as you can see, the stagger rate makes it almost impossible for the boss to attack. So I guess the build is kind of like the best ones right now. Wow, that was actually incredible. That was unbelievable. So right now I think the best melee build is this one, the one that I'm using right now. It does way too much damage. I mean, it does almost the same on a critical hit. It almost does the same damage as a void portal without anything. Actually, let's check out the other stuff I mentioned. One more build and then I'll end the video. The Vulcan detonator with the labyrinth set. Okay, the little paint train just got even more funny and more useful than before. Oh man, I don't even think they were expecting me to make something like that, so that's why it's so funny. So the storm car, sorry about this, like I said, I'm not prepared for this. No. So we have to put on this the storm color, which should... also the void rifle, or I don't know, particle accelerator, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember what I was using. I think I was using the burden of the Warlord. Okay, so let's see how great the Vulcan detonator is right now. Sadly I forgot to test the build against the boss, but you probably know already how good it is. Man, that stagger was amazing from the hammer and the critical hits. I don't know. They'll need to work on that, or I don't know, maybe they'll just leave it like that. But on Apocalypse it would have been the same result, so eh. So testing the Vulcan detonator a bit. There should be an elite over here somewhere. No? Yeah, I should have tested this on the boss, but sadly I forgot. Anyway, let's see. 30 damage per tick, that's actually a lot. So that means, I don't know how much the fire will stay on them, but it will be at least 30 seconds, so 300 damage. Okay, let's find... actually I don't have time for that. Let's just use him as the guinea pig. Ouch, that's still a lot of damage. I think I see a big guy over there. Okay, let's reload the fire mode a little bit and then we'll see. Sorry about this, it's just practice. Come on, reload it faster. I don't actually want to kill him before I do this. Sorry about that. Looks like I killed him before I could test it out, but it's more than enough anyway. See you next time, bye!